Education, once they're done talking, I'd like to call the Gallatin County Board of Education regular meeting to order on 1/21/25 at 1800, 6 p.m. for civilians. The Wallace Central Office Building. I'd like to welcome everyone. All board members are present. I need a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of 8F, discussion action to pay off bonds. I'll give you that paperwork. And the removal of item 7H, because it was not signed and was not turned in correctly.
I make a motion.
John so moves.
I'll second.
Miss Ashley seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Anybody public comment? Hearing no public comment, moving on to item 5, board member comments. Miss Becky.
Just briefly, wanted to remind everybody the KSBA conference is coming up in February. So we need to let Jody know what we're going to do, if we're going, so she can register us. It is February 21st, thank you, through the 23rd. So I'll remind everybody that training and state mandated topics changed in 2024. New board members with less than 2 consecutive years of service are required to receive training in the topics of finance, ethics, and superintendent evaluation, and open meetings, open records. All board members seated after January of 2015 are required to receive 1 hour of ethics per year, 1 hour of open meetings, at least one time every 4 years. Members can earn their state mandated hours at annual conference or throughout the year. And I might also add, there's lots of different topics this year, so you might want to go online and look at all of the options. I mean, we get into building continuity in our board office and school district, trauma-informed teaching, threat assessments, wellness, bullying. There's a lot of topics, so it's not just about state mandated topics.
With legislation coming back in a few weeks, you see any of that changing on the hours?
No, I don't, but who knows? Do you? Maybe that's the question. You do? They're going down
I
further?
don't know yet,
Okay.
but I would, don't want
That's
to
the
say
way
I
I see.
assume, because you know what happens when we
Yeah.
assume, but I'm kind of curious to see what's going to go on with the, as I'd call them, the K groups and things. So, one of them things, sit back and watch, I guess.
But we do need to let Jody know what we're doing so she
Yes.
can make our arrangements.
The whole board goes down, David Arvin will buy our dinner.
Well, David Arvin's got a conflict this year with the new superintendent training, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So he says.
You want him to bring an excuse back? That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Becky. Miss Amanda?
Not at this time.
Miss Ashley?
Nope.
Mr. Jones?
I went to the previous one of those and they had some stuff about vaping and some drug stuff the state police put on. It's enough to scare you to death. But
Yeah.
this was very informative. So
Yes.
they do have some good meetings that are not just the dry stuff that they just continue to regurgitate each time they have a meeting. I actually enjoyed those.
Good.
I've always said, and I mean, Becky kind of knows how I feel about KSBA. They got good information. It's just, it gets so repetitive.
Yeah.
And if they've got new stuff, I'm glad to see it, and I'll
They
be
do.
happy to, because for 7 years now, it's been the same thing over and over.
Well, that's because KDE is required. You gotta have this, you gotta have this, you gotta have this, and KSBA is just providing opportunities.
Because
so.
KSBA, they got an excellent setup on research and policies and legal and things. They're a good resource for legal. Anybody got anything else? Because moving on. Staff school reports, student board member, Mr. Landon Johnson.
Yeah, I don't have much, but homecoming, the basketball homecoming game is the 31st coming up. They have a game tonight too, but the court is picked out already, so that is soon. And the academic team has Governor's Cup this weekend, so won that last year, so they can do it again.
When is it?
Hmm?
When is it?
This Saturday.
Governor's Cup is?
Yep.
So what did they have this past Saturday?
This past Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
The academic teams?
Oh, it might have been the middle school.
Okay,
Middle school had it on.
so the
different-
high school is,
Yes, high school
Okay.
academic team.
anything else, sir?
That's all I got.
Thank you. Enrollment attendance report, quick and brief, Mr. Eddie Bushelman.
Should have the data in front of you. Ticked up a little bit with attendance. Percentages rebounded a little bit over the last month, so a couple positives there. Otherwise, nothing earth-shattering or nothing new in the world of attendance. Question?
Thank you.
CAO report, Mr. Tony Jury. Brief and quick, please.
We had an MTSS meeting today. We do those once a month, talk about the supports and interventions we can offer students to help them be successful. That's a district-wide meeting. We have a 30, 60, 90 tomorrow. We have those every Wednesday. Some of the things we focus on are what's your assessment plan, what's your intervention schedule. We're starting to talk about PD plans for next year and certified evaluation reviews. How are you evaluating your staff and what are you doing to help them get better? We're taking a new look at iReady data. We're looking at longitudinal data. We're not just comparing how did fifth grade do compared to last year's fifth grade. We're starting to look at how did fifth grade do compared to when they were in fourth grade and when they were in third grade. Because when we compare window 1 to window 2, we always see growth. But when KSA comes out, we don't always see a movement in scores. So we're taking a look at that, and teachers are talking about that. I also want to just say, because of the board's foresight to increase sub pay, finding subs is a non-issue this year. I was talking to some principals, and they're just satisfied with subs. It's a non-issue, so appreciate that. Any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Superintendent's report, Mr. David Harbin.
A couple different things. Attended my first cohort 13 meeting in Frankfurt last week. Met last week with the YMCA about a potential partnership. I know Mr. Jones had asked me to set up a time to meet with them. Myself, Mr. Jury, and Mr. Bushelman met with Mr. Davis with some preliminary conversations regarding allegations or allocations. Good grief! Tripping over my tongue. Sorry.
Allegations.
Yeah. We want to give a big shout out to our maintenance staff for all their hard work, ensuring that our parking lots were clear with all the snow and everything we had. Also want to thank our transportation department for just all their hard work and making sure students have been getting to and from school in the last few weeks. Would also like to give a big thank you to the upper and middle school staff, especially the people in the cafeteria, for the wonderful holiday luncheon that they had right before break. It was just a great event. Special thank you to the board members and the other community members that were able to attend. It was fantastic. Kids enjoyed it. I think everybody there had a great time, and it's something that we hope to continue into the future. Would also like to shout out the middle school Governor's Cup competition that took place. We hosted this weekend. Had several people qualify for regionals. The quick recall team came in second, and that's Leah Reed, Grace Davis, Braden Lutz, Kinsley Lutz, Jaden Johnson, and Noah Tower. Language arts, content assessment, Grace Davis came in second place. In composition, Leah Reed came in first place, and Jaden Johnson came in second. Mathematics content assessment, Braden Lutz came in second. Science content assessment, Braden Lutz came in third. And social studies content assessment, Leah Reed came in third. So they will all be moving on to regionals. So we are very proud of the hard work that they are putting in. Last thing, and I'll come up here for this one. All right. So it is Board Member Appreciation Month. So quit looking at your watch. It's Board Member Appreciation Month. So you got to get this. So I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to each one of our dedicated board members for the tireless work that you do behind the scenes to support our students, staff, and community. I especially appreciate the support that you have shown me during my brief time as your superintendent. Your commitment, guidance, and leadership have made a tremendous difference, and I'm thankful for all that you do. Happy School Board Appreciation Month. And with that, a little token of appreciation. So, now if you guys want to swap some flavors, I just got a smattering. I don't know what cake flavors you all like specifically.
Thank
so
you.
you need to do any horse trading afterwards. I'll let you guys
Thank
take
you.
it.
Argosine's betting we'll eat whatever comes last.
Thank you, that was very nice.
Here you guys go. Now, this is for me, so I'm not buying you dinner at KSBA, but I did. So there's at least something for that. Now, what I need you guys to do is come over here, and we can take a picture, so we can put this on Facebook.
We can do it after the meeting. Is that all, Mr.
I'll
Arvin?
give you a butt cake. You're gonna be ready to go after the meeting.
Come on.
Margaret, come
Come
on.
on.
Chill out.
I won't
Taking
even
his
come on.
adrenaline or something.
Hey, can you cut mine and Amanda's out so we don't have to?
You wanna clip them, we can add them to the badges? All right.
Already got it figured out.
I am.
Come over here.
This way?
All right, well, here, come on here, just stand right here.
You gonna take it?
Stand by John.
Smile.
It's a great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
I'm done. That concludes my report.
I told him to cut ours out, so I'm sitting.
Killed us 2 minutes here. Moving on, since Mr. Arvin is done, everybody get a chance to look over SBDM.
No, because there wasn't any.
That's what I was getting ready to ask. I wanted to see who looked at it.
Gotcha.
Becky, you weren't supposed to say nothing.
Well, I'm sorry.
Human Resource Action, everybody look at those.
Jill, what happened to the one where we hired and we don't want to get into names or anything there, but that's for another day, I'm sorry. Next.
We can deep dive.
Everybody get a chance to look over the consent agenda.
Yes.
Yep.
Need a motion to approve the consent agenda, excluding item 7H, because it's been removed.
I'll make a motion.
John so moves.
Second.
Ms. Amanda seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. Moving on, recommended action, new business. Item 8A, review approved audit financial statement by Barnes and Denning for fiscal year 23-24. See, he's learning.
Just give us the good news.
All right, my name is Daniel DeMonte. I'm with Barnes Denning. You have a copy of the audit report in front of you here. I'm going to go over this presentation with the nice colors. Yeah, basically the good news is it was a clean audit on both the financial statements and the major program. Single audit testing, we look at the federal funds to make sure that those funds are being used in compliance with what they're awarded for to the school district. We had excellent cooperation from Mary Jane and her team, Linda, Dana, yes, thank you. I'm sure there were some others that provided information that I'm missing, but yeah, we had excellent.
This year it was the fee service of
Jane Lynn, yes, exactly, yep. So, appreciate their hard work in the process and getting everything ready to go. Touch on a couple things here. We do risk-based auditing, so we look at the riskier areas, focus there. We get an understanding of the internal controls, but we do not give any assurance over those. They are your financial statements, so if there are like wording changes or things like that, we can make those just to, but they have to be in the parameters of government accounting reporting. And we were not aware of or made aware of any matters related to fraud or illegal acts. And actually, the management representation letter, I can provide a copy to Mary Jane, and she'll get you guys a copy of it. And then the graphs on the last page, or the last couple pages, assets are increasing, liabilities are decreasing, mainly due to decrease in the pension and OPEB liabilities. And that's based on actuarial reports, so that's kind of out of the hands of the district anyway. But revenues exceeding expenditures again for looks like 3 or 4 years in a row. And then the very last page shows revenues over expenditures district-wide. So the blue line is obviously the revenues exceeding the expenditures. There was a dip, mainly due to decrease in the special revenue funds with the COVID grants kind of dwindling away and going away. That activity caused that decrease, and the expenditures also decreased in relation to the pension and OPEB liabilities. As those decrease, the expenses also decrease. And that is all I have, unless there's any questions.
Yeah, great news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to add something. I'd like to thank Daniel and Steve because they got stuck with me this year. My trainer took a full-time job right before the audit started, and Hardy Gamble retired in May. So I had a lot of questions, and they were very, very helpful, and he was very patient with my learning curve this year. So I appreciate it greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I skipped an item here on the agenda. I'd like to apologize. Item 3, principals' reports.
I'm just gonna be real quiet.
Just make it quick, then.
I'm hey, quick. Look in the paper. If you got questions, let me know.
Hey,
There
do we
you
have
go.
a motion and a second for the audit?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Not
but at
yet.
some point we need to approve
I
it.
We
make a
will.
motion to accept the audit.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
All right, we got a motion.
I'll second.
Good job, Ashley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Jody.
Motion carries.
So, real quick, and we shared a lot of information when we had our one-on-one meetings with you guys, which was very beneficial for us to know what questions you specifically had. This is some data. Mr. Jury shared a little bit about a longitudinal data that we're looking at for iReady. This is our school, so as you can tell, in all of our areas we're growing, but why aren't we being able to catch up and show and do what we want to do based on simply this? So we have responded to a few of these pieces of data in December. A big change for one of our grades, 5th grade in particular, we switched up the schedule quite a bit to give students more time in classrooms instead of the constant switching. So we went to pods. 2 teachers are sharing students versus all 4 of them. So a week in, students and staff are reflecting that that's been a great change. So hopefully that'll be a piece that we can count on helping us instructionally. We've reduced students in phonics class, phonics RTI in 3rd grade, so we know that kids are grasping phonics as they come into us. So that was a plus. Seeing students not have to be in phonics class gives them more time in their instructional classrooms to be able to read grade level text. And 4th grade, for example, is also adding some more math RTI. We know reading is key. However, our math scores indicate that we've got a lot of work to do there. So teachers have been reviewing the CSIP with me the past couple of weeks that we've been in and out, and right before the break. And then this was a piece of analysis that we looked at specifically today in our PLCs. So I thought I would just share that with you. I was going to touch on good news, holiday report, their holiday dinner, and that was a huge success. We had all students from 3rd through 8th in the gym, lots of community members. It was a really good time to put all of our students together in one building. A little bit of nerves, I'm like, if we have to exit, where are we going? But the kids did great. They learned etiquette and practiced etiquette, within that time. So thankful that we did that.
You guys did a great job with that. And Hargis had talked about or mentioned to me that the room, so how you set up the room, I mean, it looked like first class.
We know a lot of students haven't had experiences like that. And so we again have to thank a bunch of people. Maintenance helped us. We shut down the gym just the day before. It wasn't like it went on for days. So after school, staff from both schools stayed. Our maintenance guys showed up. Cafeteria. It took everyone, and we put it up quick and tore it down faster. But it was really good. Really a good experience for them. So we were excited. We're only going to build on it each year. So we hope to do it again next year for the holidays.
No, I'm not sure how to read this. Is this like by grade level? I mean, is this grade
Yes,
like
the
3,
top-
4,
yes,
5?
3, 4, and 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, and that's
Thank
what they did the first, this is their window 1
Yeah,
and window
okay.
2, but yeah,
Is
3,
that a
4, and
legal
5.
question?
Yeah, it is.
Thanks for the question, Jake.
Yeah.
All right, well, I know you got a lot to look at in one setting, so if you look at
The,
that and have questions, please call me.
I got a
or
quick
email me.
question for you, Miss Amanda.
Okay.
The, under here, we approved the healthy school assessment. Does the principals work on that?
The Healthiest School Assessment, we usually meet with Christine Beatty.
Okay.
She sets up a couple of different times and we go through that together, question by question.
Because when I looked at it earlier, like PO2, policies and environment, says they're mostly in place, NS 8 and 9 mostly in place, PA 7, PA 8, which is physical activities, facilities.
There's a questionnaire you answer.
Okay,
And they have a range of answers, like all 100% or mostly in place, but not or not at all. So there's a
my
a
biggest
scale.
question on that was, John, maybe you know, I was just gonna ask afterwards, but since she's up there, the policies and environment, why wouldn't those policies be 100% in place?
Under what? I wonder under
Under
what?
PO2, the beginning of the report, it's like second or up on that line where it's broke down in different sections on the policies, where it says policy environment, it says mostly, why wouldn't all the policies be in place?
There were several questions that and I don't know what PO2, what the category is off the top of my head, because it's literally like 10 pages that
Okay.
we go through.
I was just kinda curious how they done it, if that's something you all reviewed too, but we shouldn't have anything here if the policies ain't in place on.
Right. I'm
And
not real
that's-
sure.
I don't understand how they do that, and that's why I was asking.
We include, I know Family Resources involved, all the principals plan to come, the nurses are there after school. I feel like we do this 2 or 3 times out of the year where we review what we have in place, and, you know, if I've said I don't know anything about that area, then Carrie Tackett may. You know, so I feel like if I knew what PO2 was, I might be able
But
to.
when I was doing that survey, I didn't know the answer to the questions that
Oh,
might
no.
have pertained to Jane Lynn.
Okay,
Right.
And
Yep.
sometimes I would put,
That's
an
food
answer-
service.
and then I
like-
noticed.
well, they don't always give you a place to put, that's not my area.
Right, right,
So maybe my answer wasn't 100% certain,
yes.
because it wasn't something that
Or
I
something
checked over.
pertains to the high school that I never
Yeah,
have to deal with.
they
you know?
kinda, they usually break it down where you've got high school, middle school, whatever, but sometimes
And something else, I had a
the
question on
wording
that.
gets into it.
Also, maybe y'all can answer this, the one that said that, I think it was Christie, said that she reviewed it on 1/21, but everything else on that report said it hadn't been reviewed since 10/13/21. Is that something that we don't review all the time, or is that something that,
It's usually an annual review.
I feel like we meet every year, and sometimes even twice because some can't attend.
where it says, where it shows with the
10,
dates that it was
21,
last
right.
reviewed, was showing, about everything on there was showing 10/13/21.
I've met every year that I've been here since 21, so I don't know,
Okay.
maybe it's a different report that she has to complete, I'm not sure.
It's ambiguous is my memory
It's
of
a
that.
lot. I'm really glad that she has this
And you
all
got
linked
2 new
together.
principals that I could see were like, well, I don't know the date of that, or, I'm not trying to cover for anybody.
Oh, no,
but I mean, it's
John, I've
kinda-
just seen it, was curious, because I don't know how they're done. And that's why I was asking.
Well, the other factor on that is, I don't ever remember having a hard copy. I think that's done by the computer. Once you hit submit, you're done with it. And so when they ask you when the last time that it was done, you pretty much rely on whatever the computer tells you was the last time it was done, because you don't have a hard copy to be able to refer back to and say, oh, we did it last October
Okay.
in 23 or whatever.
Thank you all.
So that's kind of my memory of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Review approved 2025, item 8B, 2025-26 draft budget. You're up.
That should have been attached. It does not balance. It was a quick run because I was working on the audit. Mr. Arvin and Mr. Drury and Mr. Bushelman and I are gonna meet next week to start working on the tentative budget, because I would like to make any changes to the budget before I roll to tentative. Because after I roll to tentative, I have to do it with what's called a budget journal entry in the system, and it's just, right now, it's kinda like a spreadsheet in Munis, and it's easy for me to go in there and change the numbers. So I'd like to have as much of it changed before we roll to tentative as possible. So my question to you is, this is the same budget we're using right now. I didn't make any increases, I didn't make any projections for any increases in any expenses. Because right now, we're getting more revenue than we're getting expenses. I was not sure about any salary increases, if there were gonna be any, so I didn't include any. So if you can let me know in the next few weeks, or even by the next board meeting, if there's anything you want to increase or add to the budget. The tentative budget's not due for a couple of months, but like I said, I'd like to start working on it.
Okay.
So if you just have anything that you
So it sounds like to me
think
we
you're
need
gonna
to
wanna
table
buy,
this.
you need to let me know.
Yeah.
Sounds
No,
like
you
we-
can approve this, you can approve this.
We can
draft
approve that
budget
one,
as
John?
Since
You
it's just
actually
kind of
don't-
Since
preliminary.
it's a draft.
I mean, it's a draft, but you said
Yeah.
it didn't balance. I mean, I don't know if I've ever.
Yeah, I'm a little
balanced
worried
They
about
it.
never- they
The old
never
banker and me, we weren't allowed to go home until
I
we
know,
got
they-
some
they-
pennies.
There's no repercussion for approving a bad draft budget, but I still don't know if
I
I've
don't
approved
think
one
you
that
even
didn't
have to
balance.
approve it, I'm just giving.
I think we'll just leave it as discussion.
Okay,
or
I'm good with
review.
that.
We'll just leave that as review, John.
I feel
We
better with that
reviewed
than
it,
approving
and
a
then,
balance that didn't- budget
because
didn't
there's some
balance.
stuff I was gonna talk to y'all about tonight, me and her talked about. They bought a bus this year, and they used, COVID funding, was able to pay for that bus. We had the money moved over there to purchase another one. So since we bought the one this year, I'd like to see the board get back on track, or buying 1-2, 1-2, to get us back on track on that. And then we can move that money forward, add the money, cause we was looking at it the other day, would we guess we was gonna come up with about 4 to,
Well, I think a lower number than you. You were like at 4.2. I'm thinking more around 4.1.
yeah. She's more
Contingency.
conservative than me.
I'm
Huh?
more conservative than
Contingency.
you are, yes.
So we're in
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
shape.
she's flat cooking some books for us. The,
We are
I'm
being
the only one
recorded
knows
right
where it
now.
is, though.
We are being recorded
I
right
don't
now.
I say, no,
I know you say a lot, yeah.
the, but yeah, what I told her to look at when she done the budgets, moving the money in to purchase 2 buses this coming year, moving the one money for it, use the thing, and then me and her talked about, shoring up his department financially, the technology department, get it shored up. We've last year she moved money over for us to shore up,
Chromebooks, is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
food
I do
services
the-
and things like
that
that.
money's in here again. The Chromebook purchases are gonna be yearly,
Yes,
so.
and, we'll have all that on, when we get the final budget and I present to you all on it, or she presents it.
But
Make
so
a
you're not gonna
recommendation.
approve it tonight, and
No,
the
we're
minutes
just-
just gonna
we just
say it was
reviewed it.
presented and discussed.
Yes.
But not approved. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 8C, approve additional checking account for online payment system.
Yeah, that's me too. We got started on our CAB stuff, that's the online payment system for anything anybody wants to pay for school. It will include everything. One of the requirements for that program is we have to have another checking account, so I just need approval to open. It's a pass-through account. The money will come in there, they will take their portion, and then they'll move it into our main account.
It's a sweep.
Yeah, it's a sweep account, that's all it is.
I make a motion we approve the.
But the only thing is that what you had attached, I didn't see a bank name on there. I think they
It's
probably.
German American.
That's what I thought. So since it's not in there, put it in the motion if you would.
I make a motion that
American
we,
bank
Yeah,
get an additional German-American bank checking account.
I'll
Yeah.
second it.
the authorized signers were
All
on
in
the
favor?
attachment.
Yes,
Aye.
I did.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You might as well stay up here, discussion, postage meter lease.
That's part Mr. Arvin too.
The, I'll remind the board, we can enter into a 1-year contract. This is a 36-month agreement. Being it's 36 months, we will have to bring it back each year and review it. We can throw it in a pile over there that we got that has to be reviewed every year.
Yeah, so you can throw it in that pile and needs to be reviewed every year, but there's a Kentucky amendment to that. So that references a Kentucky amendment that has got the loophole in there that says if the board does not allocate the funds for that lease every year, then it can be terminated. So you actually, I read it today, you can approve that thing as is.
So it's good for the 36 months then?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it says in there, if the board does not allocate the funds for it every year, then you can get out of it. No, don't get any bright ideas, but I mean, it's legal, but there is a Kentucky amendment. There's a Kentucky amendment to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're always gonna need postage, right?
Yeah.
So-
Also move.
It's just
The
for,
old meter
it's
we
just
have-
for central office.
Yes.
Yeah, just for here, and the other meter no longer meets the USPS standards, so we can't even use it right now, so we just needed that approved, so we could.
Have a
get the
motion
new
on the
one
floor,
to-
need a second?
Second.
I did. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 80, so we can stay late, what three board members requested to remove us from the table?
What?
This was tabled last meeting.
E was?
So we never.
Well, I thought it was on your agenda, I thought.
80,
So we're
remove.
go- So we're gonna
Review,
untable
approve.
it?
Is
I
that-
just seen it on there. I thought you all untabled it.
We tabled it because we didn't have enough information, and I think now you've got us enough information. So, I mean, are we good to talk about
Yes.
it now?
I was just kind of curious. I'm just messing with David.
But
Item 80, review,
It
approve.
looks
Lockout
like what
Academy
he's
weight room
presented to us
upgrades.
is, seems fair and adequate to me, and I think it's under the threshold of having to get, bids, isn't it, Jake?
It is.
Yeah, he
so-
done it that way so he can get it back on the agenda.
He's not stupid. I think it's good unless somebody else,
Also move.
I'll second.
Way to go, team.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 8F, discussion action, that's the item I had to pay off bonds. If y'all looked at paper that she printed off for me, I asked her down there the other day, and I appreciate her getting it to us this quick. We had discussed it in the past of going ahead and paying those bonds off. I've got the paper here somewhere. Right now, where'd she go to? Oh, she said we would have to make the interest payment this year, correct?
The March
You
first
said, yeah.
payment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
The
give you a
interest that's
copy.
due on March.
Oh, sorry.
The reason we added it to the agenda is I got the information, and we have to give them 30 days notice that we're gonna pay off the bond. So we give them the notice on February 1st, and then we pay the bonds off on March 1st, and we have to pay that March 1st interest plus the principal. And it looks like, I pulled some paperwork, looks like it might, this is kind of a guess, but between $60,000 and $70,000 will save in interest over the life of the bonds that we would have to pay out. This is just the bus bonds.
Yep.
Just the bonds for the bus. The other bonds are not included in this.
So this would cut into our 4.1 or 2
Yes.
million we've got, but
We don't have those
we'd be
payments
saving
anymore.
our expenses
Yep.
for the next year, and we would be,
Any
the
future
interest we're
payments.
paying is more expensive than interest we'd be getting on CDs.
Yep.
I'll make a motion, we pay off the bonds.
I'll second.
And this is all 5 of them, correct?
Yes, that's all of the
Every,
bus bonds.
John, let me I'll redo that motion. I make a motion to approve paying off the bonds that's listed on this sheet from 2015 to 2021.
I will second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, before we do that, is there any reason anyone sees we need the first meeting in February?
I don't think so.
I'm out of town.
Not at this time.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and remove that. We
Just don't show up.
yeah, just don't show up. I move to
One way
adjourn.
to do it.
I'm second.
John seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. See y'all at the
Nice job.
February meeting. Y'all have a good evening.